Free agency is still going along, and the Pirates really haven't made any big splash yet. Jorge Polanco just got signed to the Mets, and what I think is an overpay, 2 for $40 million. O'Hearn's still out there for the Pirates to get, but will they get him? Honestly, I really don't know. Kyle Schwarber came and gone. Josh Bell just got signed by the Twins, so if you wanted him as a bench bat, he's gone. What about the international market, though? I feel like no one has really been talking about these guys in the social media scene. So for today's episode, let's talk about the international market. Could the Pirates go out and look at one of these bats, or could they look for more pitching depth? We're going to talk all about that today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Let's get into this. So the international market is going to be heating up really soon. Guys like Munetaka Murakami and Sungmoon Song, who we are going to be talking about in this segment going along with the bats, they have actually, I think, less than a week to sign. I know Murakami, I think, is the 21st, compared to Okamoto, who is beginning of January, along with some of the pitchers we'll talk about in this video as well. But let's just start out with the big one, Munetaka Murakami. This guy is basically the prize of the Japanese bats, according to a lot of MLB fans. But it's funny, like all season long, everyone's like, you need to get Munetaka Murakami. Munetaka Murakami is going to be the greatest guy of all time. Then a tweet came out saying he couldn't hit a fastball over 94 miles per hour, and now there's literally no news surrounding Munetaka Murakami, which I think is actually kind of absurd, because I think Munetaka Murakami is going to be good. Now, sure, there is going to be, I think, a drastic adjustment period. But when this guy is on, he is on because he can hit the long ball. A career 265 home runs over in the NPB. Looking at this year by year, 18 home runs in his rookie year. In 2019, he hit 36, 28 in 2020, 39 in 21. He hit 56 home runs, a career high in 2022, 31 in 23, 33 in 24, and in 2025, he only hit 24. So the lowest amount of home runs he hit was back in his rookie year, but ever since then, this past season was his least, but he was dealing with an injury as well. Only played in a total of 69 games. His year that everyone's going to look at, though, saying, like, this is the guy, was 2022, where he hit 56 home runs, 134 runs batted in. He hit 318, 458 OBP, a 710 slugging, good for an OPS of 1,168. The thing with Murakami that scares a lot of fans, however, is the strikeouts. In that season, he struck out 128 times, which is honestly low for his career. In 2023, he struck out 168 times. In 2024, he struck out 180 times. In 263 plate appearances this past season, he struck out 71 times. I would say that's not really that good. But yeah, Murakami is going to be a guy that's known for the swing and miss and then the power. Now, there was a tweet that went viral that I thought was really funny. It was like an MPB fan account that was basically saying Murakami's, it was like a line of MLB players. This is what he can be versus this is what his worst can be. His best is a Rafael Devers type, which is a comp that a lot of people have been giving in the MLB scouting scene. I think Rafael Devers is a solid comp. He can swing and miss, but he's going to hit the ball hard and he's going to hit the ball far a lot. At his worst, he was compared to Jack Sawinski and Yoshi Tsutsugo, if you remember him as a Pirate fan. But Jack Sawinski was his worst. And we all know as Pirates fans what Jack Sawinski did last year. I don't know if the Pirates are comfortable taking that gamble on a guy that, sure, has a lot higher of a ceiling than some of these other international guys we are going to be talking about in this video. However, do they take a risk on a guy that will probably want over $100 million and could be a Jack Sawinski clone? Personally, I'd be open to Murakami, but I don't think the Pirates are going to do that. Now, to get these guys, you're going to have to take a risk, and that's kind of the theme about this episode, is if you're going to make a splash in the international market, you have to go out and take a risk. Looking at Fangraphs really quick, they actually have some of his projections for Murakami. They have him playing in 122 games, almost not 122, 122 games, 25 home runs on FGDC. On Steamer, they have him at 24, RBI 68 to 64. Let's see here. A average of 227 is his projection at 330 OBP, a 438 slugging, and a WOBA of 331. Honestly, not the greatest, you could say, year possibly projected for him, but I mean, it is his first one coming over. This is what people love about him, though. His hit tool is a 30-30, game power 70-70, raw power 80-80, speed 30-30, field 30-30. So it's power over hit with Munetaka Murakami. 80 power raw, that's pretty good. But the 30 hit grade, it's eh. He literally could be a Jackson Winsky clone, and that is what scares a lot of people. Murakami, I'm open to. If they go out and get him and spend the big bucks on him and make him the highest paid free agent, cool. But knowing the Pirates, it will probably crash and burn. And just knowing the luck we have as this franchise and the fans that we are supporting them. But I'd be open to Murakami. But is it going to happen? Probably not. Let's move on to the second guy. I have been very adamant of Kazuma Okamoto. Very realistic. This is the realistic option of the two mega Japanese bats coming over. Okamoto, compared to Murakami, is a guy that does not strike out a lot. This is why I really want Okamoto, because we as Pirates fans, I go on social media all the time. Everyone's like, we need to limit the strikeouts. Stop striking out. Cruz strikes out too much. Reynolds strikes out too much. Everyone strikes out too much. Okamoto is not a guy that strikes out a lot. He has a career, I think when I did the math a couple of weeks ago, he had like a 17% career K rate. That might have been very wrong in my head, but still, very solid. He is well with Murakami, did have a shortened season this year. In 2025, he hit, and he only played 77 games, but he did hit 322 with a 411 OBP, a 581 slugging, and an OPS of 992, as well hit 15 home runs and 51 RBIs in the shortened season since he was hurt. But yeah, I think he is going to be good. He is a Scott Boras guy, though, so you think Scott Boras is letting his guys come to Pittsburgh? We're going to, he said the Pirates have reached out to his clients, which is a breath of fresh air at the winter meetings, but I'll believe, the theme of this is literally risk, and I'll believe it when we see it. I think that's what all Pirates fans, we can all say. You believe it whenever they see it, you see it do it. In his career with in the NPB, though, 277 home runs, which compared to Murakami, he had 266 in the NPB. However, Murakami is younger. Murakami is 25. Okamoto is already 29. So Okamoto is more seasoned in the NPB than Murakami. So 277 career homers for Okamoto, 872 RBIs. Let's see here. Let's go 274 average, a 355 OBP, and a 501 slugging. 856 OPS. Actually, I was reading his foreign levels. Let's go to the NPB levels here. 277 average, so it is higher. A 361 OBP, a slugging of 521, and an OPS of 882. 248 home runs. Sorry about the 277. That was wrong. And then 717 RBIs. They have a foreign NPB in all levels. They're all 11 seasons. I think it's like 2 separate leagues in Japan. Got to do some more research about how they do their seasons. But yeah, Okamoto is a guy that doesn't strike out a lot. He's going to get on base. In 2025, he had a 411 OBP. Let's see here, a 362, a 374 as we go back and farther and farther and farther. Looking at his batting averages, this is something I see a lot of Pirates fans complaining about. I want to keep track of how many times he's hit below 250. Let's see here. 254 his first year in 2016, 257, 2017 that is, a 264, 309 in 2018. 2019, he hit 265. 2020, 275. 2021, 265. 2022, 252. This was his lowest, 252. 2023, 278, 2024, 280, and in 2025, 322. He has yet to hit below 250 in his MLB career. Looking at Okamoto's fan graphs, like projections, his tools, he has a 50-50 hit, so a lot better than Murakami's. 55-55 game power, 55-55 raw power, 30-30 speed, and a 40-40 field. When compared to Murakami, Okamoto is going to be able to play third base a lot better than him. A lot less power, but a lot better of a hit tool. Looking at his steamer projections, he's projected to play in 102 games this year. I think if he goes to a team like the Pirates, he's going to get a lot more action. 414 projected plate appearances, 17 home runs, 53 RBIs. They have him at a strikeout rate of 16.9, which is about where his career is. He's not a guy to strike out. Last year in a shortened year, he had 11.3. 2024, he had 15.9. And then this would be his lowest since 2023. He had an 18.8 that year. His highest career K rate, by the way, is 21% in 2019. He just doesn't strike out that much, and this is the guy the Pirates desperately need. They have him at a projected 251 average, a 324 OBP, and a slugging of 441, an XWOBA of 329. They have his WRC plus projected at 110, which is honestly about where the Pirates would like a guy. Spencer Horwitz was better than that last year. I think that's still higher than what I think Joey Bart was. So Okamoto would have been your second best hitter if you're getting this right now. I did forget to read out Murakami's WRC plus. They have him projected, get this, a lot more power, but at 112. I think that's where the strikeouts come into play, because Murakami's strikeout projection rate is 29%. Year by year for Murakami, 35.7 in 2018, 31% in 2019, 22.3 in 2020, 21 he had a 21.6, 2022 a 20.9, 2023 28.1, 2024 29.5, 2025 28.6, and they have him striking out in his first year at a 29% clip. Okamoto, they have him at a 16.9 for his first MLB season. Okamoto is the guy I think Pirates fans should want. I know Murakami has all the upside, and I'd be happy with both of these dudes. But Okamoto, if you hate strikeouts, this is the guy that's not going to do that. If he does, I'm wrong. But 16.9 projection for a guy coming in his first year in Major League Baseball, I think that's pretty dang good. But yeah, like a 110 projected WRC plus for Okamoto compared to Murakami's 112, they're practically projected to have the same season this year. You can get Okamoto for a lot cheaper. And I think both these guys actually have been paired to the Pirates, and they're actually interested in both these dudes. But we've seen this story. They're interested in all these guys. They don't get them. But there's a guy, like, if you've watched this, I know some people on Twitter have seen, like, we know you're into getting Okamoto, because he doesn't strike out. The Pirates need everything they can get on offense. Power, speed, contact, plate discipline, on base, slugging, everything imaginable. A better OPS as a team. One of the worst, I think it was the worst in Major League Baseball. They need everything. And that's something I actually agreed with Ben Sherrick at the winter meetings. He said we basically need everything. And for once, the guy is right. They need everything. That's how bad this offense was last year that he built. But yeah. Go get Okamoto. I like it. Moving on to finally, this is probably my least favorite of the international guys. Not a lot of hype for him. Sungmoon Song, I might have butchered that. But he's in the KBO, third base, second baseman, and first baseman in his career, basically third base. He hasn't been officially named as a Pirates fit, but I think a lot of people are assuming he is a fit for the Pirates as an international guy. Song is not that hyped up compared to Murakami and Okamoto. The KBO is a lesser league to the NPB, no offense to the KBO and any KBO fans, but at the same time, looking at what he's done, he is 28 years old. He is turning 29. Actually, no, he's 29 already. He just turned 29 in August, but his season ended before that. 144 games. He had a 917 OPS. That's cool. He also hit a career-high 26 home runs, 90 RBIs. Awesome. 2024, he hit the, 19 home runs, 21 stolen bases, 104 RBIs, had an OPS of 927, a career high. That's cool. But when you go farther back in his career, this is where the thing is with Song. He is a late bloomer. In 2023, his OPS was 683, and it took that jump in 24 to 927, and then 917 and 25. So 683 and 23. In 2022, a 673 OPS. In 2021, a 691 OPS. In 2019, a 597. In 2018, he only played in 78 games, but he had an 884. Breath of fresh air there. 2017, a 697, and in his rookie year, 2015, only 7 games, but 500 OPS. Sungmoon Song is a late bloomer. He's probably needs more development, but he's already 29 years old. Are you going to put him in the minor leagues as a 29-year-old prospect? We saw what the Dodgers did with Hae-Sung Kim last year. They started him in the minor leagues. Kind of the same thing. I think Kim is highly more regarded than Sungmoon Song is. I know Song's posting period is coming up soon. I think it's in the next week or two, around Christmas time, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, let me know in the comments down below. I know someone posted on Twitter, but I forget who gave me that or let me know about that. But still, late bloomer here. He's coming off of a great season, 26 home runs, 25 stolen bases. He has a 2020 season, 25-25 season actually, 90 ribbies. He only struck out 96 times, a career high for him, but he still hit 315. He hit 340 in 2024. But the OPS scares me because the Pirates need that. They sucked at that last year. He had the 387 OBP last year, a 409 the year before, but then the year before that, a 325, a 302, a 320, a 269 OBP in 2019, his age 2022, I almost said 2022, his age 22 season. So Sung-Moon Song, late bloomer. He's been really good in 24 and 25, but what scares me the most is when I looked at his Fangraphs projections. They have him projected to only play 36 games, so they clearly see him on Fangraphs as a guy to start in the minor leagues or just be a bench bat. They have him hitting 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. They have his K rate in that short amount of time at 15.7, a 251 average, a 307 OBP, a 372 slugging, an xWOBA of 296, a WRC plus projection of 88. This is literally Jared Triolo. Jared Triolo or Brian Hayes clone right here, guys. He could play some good field. Could have a good glove. Let's see his tools really quick. They actually don't have any tools for him. They don't have any prospect report on him. His FV's a 45. They don't really have much on Fangraphs to help me out here besides Murakami Okamoto. I don't think Fangraphs really like Sung-Moon Song to make a adjustment leap to the major leagues. Would I be interested? Kind of. This is the last. I think Sung-Moon Song is the last resort if you're not going to get an Okamoto or Murakami. Or, since his posting period's up, if you want Sung-Moon Song so bad, go out and get him and then you wait for Okamoto and then you have Song just in case. But at the same time, he's basically Jared Triolo with these projections. So that kind of worries me. Like I said, the KBO, no offense to any Korean baseball fans, the KBO is a lesser league than the NPB. Just overall, people know that. It goes like MLB, NPB, KBO. That's how a lot of people see it. Do they get Sung-Moon Song? He's going to be the cheapest of the 3 bats, but I don't think it's the right choice. His career, it's funny. Looking at his WRC plus by year before we move on to the pitchers really quick, because there's not really much to add with the pitchers. 20 WRC plus in his rookie year, 7 games. I'm not even going to break that down. In 2017, he played 38 games, had an 84. In 2018, 78 games, 122. His third best. Then he had a 63 and 91 and 87 and 91. In 2024 is one of his first best seasons, 143. And in this past year, he had a 151 WRC plus. That would basically trump anything that the Pirates did this year. Okay, that defeats everything. But they have him dropping off to an 88 and only playing in 36 games. They clearly don't see him on Fangraphs and these projections as a guy that's going to make an impact to a Major League Baseball club. Like I said, would I want him? Sure, as a last resort. If I'm ranking these guys at who I want the most, it goes Okamoto, Murakami, Sung-Moon Song. Realistic options, it would go Okamoto, Sung-Moon Song, Munetaka, Murakami, because I don't think they're getting Murakami. I don't think they have a shot. I think Song makes sense for them, but like I said, they already have Jared Triolo. Triolo basically does the same thing as Song. And then Okamoto, I think they have a realistic shot as well, but when I'm looking at the other teams interested, like the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and the Mets, I think we're in there as well that I've seen. It's do we have a shot? Probably not. But a man can dream. What else are we supposed to do the offseason? We could just wish cast. Let's move on to the pitchers, though. I'm really excited with some of these arms because I don't think they're going to get any of them, but it's there's some intriguing ones this year. I know the big one is Tatsuya Imai. He has a career. I made a video about Okamoto Imai. You can go look. I'll put it in the end of this video. But I wanted to break down the 2 NPB guys that no one's talking about compared to Murakami. I also do have a Murakami video I made during the MLB season, way far back. But Okamoto Imai video I thought was pretty fun. Just taking a look at what they've done in their past. Imai, in his career in the NPB, has a 3.15 career ERA, a career record of 58 and 45, 14 complete games, 7 shutouts, 963.2 innings of work, a career 907 strikeouts in the NPB. He's coming off of a great season in the NPB. In 2025, he had a 192 ERA. He as well had 3 of those 7 shutouts, 5 of those 14 complete games. 163.2 innings of work, as well struck out 178 guys. Imai is the really hyped up pitcher from Japan this year compared to the next guy we'll talk about. So when you look at the tiers of these free agents from Japan, The most hyped up one, of course, is Murakami, and then I'd probably put Tatsuya Imai in there as the best pitcher, and then it's Okamoto, and then the next pitcher we'll talk about in a second, who I think are coming around the same time as their posting period is, Okamoto and the next guy. But what I like about Imai is just watching some of his clips, he could be a dog. He could be pretty good. He's not going to be as highly regarded as Yoshinobu Yamamoto was, or probably Roki Sasaki was, but he's going to make more money than Roki because Roki did come over earlier. Now, Imai is currently 27 years old. He's coming up. He's going to be turning 28 in May 9th. So basically around the start of the season. The Pirates aren't going to be getting him, but if they were, it would be cool, or it would be like one of those they didn't get any bats and they spent all the money on pitching. But a way to win is don't let the other team score, and this could help. That could be a nice little, I don't know. I don't even think it would be nice, but it would be a strategy. I'll add that. But yeah, I don't really want to add much about these pitchers. Tatsuya Imai, I highly recommend looking at his stats on Baseball Reference. I think he's going to be solid. I know the Blue Jays, I always thought could be a fit for him, but they just signed Dylan Cease. But the Blue Jays are spending money. They also brought in Cody Ponce from the KBO and a former Pirate. Philadelphia Phillies, I could see. I always think, for some reason, I have him maybe going there. Maybe you throw in Baltimore because they're in on Framber Valdez. They just signed Pete Alonso, by the way, last week. So, the Orioles are in. They traded for Taylor Ward, signed Pete Alonso. They want Framber Valdez. They're supposedly in on Imai. The Orioles are trying. They're a small market team doing what Pirates fans wish the Pirates would do. Spend money and go out and do stuff. But Tatsuya Imai, I'm intrigued. I think he's going to have a great career. Moving on to our last guy for this episode, Kona Takahashi. Same coming over from the MPB. I think he has the same, around the same posting date he has to be signed by, like Okamoto. Coming off another solid, he's kind of the more average pitcher compared to Tatsuya Imai. Looking at what we say here, he's a right-hander compared to Imai. Imai is also a righty. But looking at Kona Takahashi really quick, he is currently a 28-year-old pitcher. He's turning 29 in February 3rd, so around spring training. He's coming off a year of a 3.04 ERA, 148 innings in 2025, along with only striking out 88. He's not really a strikeout pitcher. He went 8-9 last year in 24 games. But yeah. He is also, interesting enough, he's not really a starter. Just looking at this very quickly. He's only started 15 games, but I know a lot of fans have looked at him. Maybe he's like, oh, he could start? It's kind of weird. He pitched in 24 games last year, had 148 innings, 22 games in 24, 114 point in a third. So, they're not listed as starts, but they're listed as games played or pitched. So I'm wondering if it could have been an opener situation, or maybe he has relieved. 9 complete games, 5 shutouts. I don't know if this is Baseball Reference just croaking, but they say he has starts. So, yeah, this is very odd. It's an odd reference page. I know someone would probably leave in the comments. Maybe he is a starter. Maybe he's an opener. I don't know how his team is a Cebu used him over in the MPB. But yeah, he's an intriguing one. I think he could be maybe like a 5 starter on the MLB. He could be a long relief option. Kona Takahashi could be good, could be bad. He has a career 3.39 ERA, 1,199 innings of work. He's struck out only 870 hitters in that amount of time. Like I said, he's not really a strikeout guy. His career best strikeouts in a year was in 2022. He struck out 128 guys in 26 games. Again, not listed any starts, but his last listed start was in Australia in 2017 when he pitched in Melbourne. Looks like he pitched for 2 teams that year in foreign leagues, Cebu in Japan, and then Melbourne in the Australian Baseball League. So this is the only guy on this list that's pitched in another country besides Japan or Korea. So Melbourne, how about that? Most innings he's thrown in his career, 175 and 2/3 back in 2022, where he had a 2.20 ERA. His career runs allowed per 9 is at a 3.89. Ks per 9 is a 6.5. Walks per 9 is a 3.2. Home runs per 9 a 0.7. Hits per 9 at 8.5. But yeah, that's Kona Takahashi. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for today's episode. I just wanted to do a quick breakdown of these international guys. Could they be actual targets for the Pirates, or is it just another, they're interested? Yippee. If I'm given what I want them to do, people watch this already know I really want Okamoto. I think they have a shot at him. But will they get him? Probably not. I'm not getting my hopes up like the theme of this is. These are all risks. Okamoto is a risk. He's probably not going to have the most power, but he's not going to strike out much. But you're taking a risk to make that sign to make sure like he's the guy. Because I think if you get Okamoto or Murakami, or even Imai, which I don't think they will get, but for example, they're going to be your highest paid free agent in your team history. But something awesome, because that's going to beat $39 million, especially Murakami and Okamoto, I would think. It's in Imai, but all three of them would. But also, the risk is here that you also got to pay the posting fee, which is like a certain percentage. I don't have the actual math on my screen to look at, but it's a certain percentage you have to pay to their NPB team before they come over. I think it's all at once. I know I've talked about this in the NS9 Discord with a couple guys, and we're trying to figure it out. But I think it is all at once. You have to like pay his team that he's coming over. You got to give him a percentage of the contract. You got to make up for it. But yeah, that's something. Do you think the Pirates will do? I have a hard time believing Bob Nutt is going to do that. But if Ben Cherington supposedly has the funds and the most flexibility, go do it. Go get your fans excited. Go bring in an international bat to introduce to the fans at Pirates Fest. I think maybe that's how you win some fans back over. Will it win all the fans back over? No. You got to do a lot more than that. But yeah, go do something this offseason. Maybe go make a splash for one of these guys. Who knows? But yeah, thank you all for watching today's episode, breaking down these international bats and arms. Will the Pirates do any of this? Probably not. But make sure to leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on all these players? Do you have a favorite one? Do you like Sungmoon Song? Do you like Okamoto? Do you like Murakami? Do you like Takahashi? Do you like Imai? Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, subscribe, leave a like on the video. Thank you all for helping us hit 400. The road to 500 subscribers starts now. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good one. Let's go Bucks, and I'll see you next time.